Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome to All Things Delicious. Today on Brave Belly, I'm going to be doing a deep dive on Polish food. I bought some of the most famous Polish foods available in a local restaurant by my house called Pierogi Grill, located out of Clearwater, Florida. So we have the ham hock, and cabbage, mushroom cabbage. Check that out. We're gonna be diving into that. We have a little cold plate of sampler. I'm gonna show you guys how Polish people eat open-faced sandwiches. Full disclosure, guys, I'm 100% Polish. I was born in America, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, but grew up to immigrant parents. So I grew up on food like this. We're gonna eat it together. I'm gonna give you guys some anecdotes and tell you some stories about growing up in Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s. So buckle in for a long episode. Hope you guys brought your appetites, because you know I did. We got pierogis. We have literally like almost every type of Polish pierogi. We have like all the flavors, like with meat, with cabbage, with sauerkraut, mushroom, potato, etc., etc. Then we have these Polish potato pancakes. These are called placki ziemniaczane. So we're gonna have that. Don't worry, guys. You don't have to understand it in Polish, because I got you covered in English. All right. We have the famous Polish Kielbasa. All right. So check that out. We're about to dig in it with the Kielbasa. We got more pierogis. These are pan-fried pierogis. We have this cabbage that's stuffed with meat, and we have all the sauces to it as well. I forget, that's called a Golombki. That's a Golombek. Okay. Then we have this. I don't know what these dumplings are called. They also, I believe they're boiled dumplings filled with meat. In Polish, they're called Pyzy. And then we have soup, my favorite Polish soup. Check that out up close, guys. This is tripe soup. So it's not for the faint of heart. I love it. I grew up eating it. And then last but not least, we have usually Polish people will have this with beer. You know, I don't want my channel demonetized, so I had it with apple juice. So this is famous Polish apple juice. I forget the name of the brand. It starts with a Z and ends with a C. So cheers. As the Polish would say, na zdrowie. So let's get right into the food. I'm gonna talk about like growing up in New York City in the 80s and 90s in a Polish community in Brooklyn called Greenpoint. Brooklyn is definitely not the same anymore. It's not what it was in the 90s. Now when people talk about like Brooklyn and New York City, I feel that personally New York City might as well be anywhere else in America. It's very like gentrified, lots of hipsters, and it was nothing like that. It was gritty when I grew up in New York, and I have a lot of tales, guys. So anyway, I don't know where to begin, but I think we're gonna start with the Polish open-faced sandwich. So we're gonna slide this down just a little bit to make some room, and I'm gonna show you how Polish people eat their sandwiches. All right, so we have a little sampler. It's with smoked sausage. This is Kielbasa, Polish Kielbasa. You can see the outer skin is nice and has like a crunch to it because it's crispy, and just smoked, has like that smoky smell, delicious. And this is what's called a Kabanos, which is like a slimmer version of it. Obviously it's sliced, kind of like elongated, but really this is just like a sausage. All right, both very delicious. The Kabanos is like more dense. It's basically like the same version as a Kielbasa, but the Kielbasa is like slightly more airy. Okay, we're gonna save that for the bread. So the way I grew up eating it is open-faced sandwiches, and open-faced sandwiches are very popular in Poland. People eat them for breakfast even. It's just big staple of Polish eating is like deli meats, Polish style deli meats. Polish meats are so good. They're always fresh. Like a Polish butcher is like a big deal in the community. Just like most other foreign countries, like Hispanics, they have, their butchers, and same thing with Italians, and you know how Jewish delis have their own thing? Well, Polish people definitely have their butchers. With you walk in and there's meats hanging all in the background behind the register. You got different kielbasas, different sausages that are fresh and just hanging back there. Usually they have fresh bread and all your provisions. So I just put some butter on this rye bread. So Polish bread is basically rye bread. This one has a little bit of seeds. And so I'll put, slap it with some Swiss cheese. Polish people eat Swiss cheese, but Polish people also have their own cheeses from just basically all over the world, or I guess from Poland, sorry, scratch that. But it definitely tastes like exotic, you know, it's their own one-of-a-kind cheese. So yeah, so I'll put the different meats on this, and this one will have with pickles. Polish people love their pickles. That's just part of the culture, how we eat it. So you could eat it like this, or you could eat it with tomato, with salt and pepper. I do have tomato here, and I brought my salt and pepper, but I'm just gonna do this one like this. So this is very like basic eating in Poland. I would just cut it in half. Let me cut it in half just to make it a little bit easier to eat. So yeah, this, believe it or not, for my Polish viewers, this looks so normal, like it's just basically an open-faced sandwich. But in America, we don't eat our sandwiches like this. You know, our sandwiches have a top and a bottom. We usually don't use rye bread. So this is like a very Polish style of sandwich. And when I was growing up in high school and I had my American friends come over, and if my parents would have fresh bread and make sandwiches, my friends would go crazy for the Polish ham sandwich with like butter and cheese, szynko, which is ham. All right, guys, first bite. That pickle adds that zestiness to it, that extra little crunch. You know, it takes away from like that heaviness, so it's like a beautiful balance. We got the Polish pickle with the cheese and the smoked meat. This is staple of Polish food. Simple, quick, easy, but people drink it with tea. I don't drink tea. I didn't grow up drinking tea, but a lot of people in Poland drink tea. All right, we're gonna move on to the next. I don't know where to go. Okay, so we're gonna try these Polish potato pancakes. Now, mind you, this is from a local restaurant. This is not a Polish neighborhood where I live. It's a small Polish community, so the restaurant is not going to be as good as if it was in a Polish community, like where I grew up in Brooklyn. There, they had Polish restaurants everywhere. There's just like maybe 3 or 4, you know, here in the area. So this is their pancakes. It's called placki ziemniaczane. My mom used to make this on the frying pan. It's basically what you do is you take potatoes and you know, like a cheese grater, use a cheese grater to on raw potatoes. So it's like mealy, and you put like onions in there, and then you just pour it out onto like a frying pan with some oil on top, and you make pancakes like this. So I grew up eating this with sour cream, just a little bit of sour cream. So we're gonna try it that way. But in the restaurant, they gave me applesauce, which is crazy. I've never heard of having these potato pancakes with applesauce. So my viewers from Poland, tell me, do you guys eat your placki ziemniaczane with freaking applesauce? I've never heard of that. Maybe they're just trying to be, you know, extra because it's a restaurant. So we're gonna try it both ways though. I'll tell you if it's any good. So this is how it looks. Okay, and I'm gonna slice it. I wish I had more room here, guys. Bear with me, but it is what it is. We're just gonna go through everything step by step. I'm gonna show you everything nice up close anyway, so you don't have to worry about missing it out on anything. But here is the potato pancake with some sour cream. And that's what it looks like. So it is a little bit on the greasy side because obviously it's pan fried. Let's see what it tastes like. Just like what I remember. So obviously it's called a pancake taste. Not like a pancake at all. It just has like that look, but the texture is more dense. Yeah, it's like a more chewier French fry, if you will. It's almost like a French fry because basically it's just potatoes. So, but yeah, that's how it looks. And with sour cream, it goes really well. Really well, actually. That sour cream kind of like gives it more depth and cuts down that grease because, you know, that sour cream kind of has like that lightness to it, you know. So yeah, it just makes it like a well balanced. It definitely helps. All right, let's try it with some of this applesauce. I've never heard of it this way. Never had it like this in my house. Matter of fact, I don't know of people eating applesauce like that in Poland at all. I've never had applesauce either in my grandmother's house in Poland or anywhere. But let's check it out. Oops. I knew things are gonna get messy, but just bear with me, guys. It's not bad. I'm not used to it. I'm used to the sour cream, so it tastes like home. This is a little weird. Keeps falling. But it's good too because the applesauce is very bright and fruity, you know? So it makes the pancake taste, you know, it gives it a good balance. It's somewhat light. It's not bad at all. So guys, make sure you let me know in the comments down below, those of you from Poland, if you actually eat it that way. Okay guys, we're gonna keep moving right along. Now we're gonna try the kielbasa. All right, so kielbasa is pretty straightforward. A lot of times Polish people just eat it with mustard. You could eat it anyway, just with bread or mustard, and you would slice little pieces, but I'm just gonna get savage and bite into it. I just wanna show you guys what it's about. You've seen kielbasa is very popular in America, but usually the kielbasa, Polish kielbasa they call it, is not true Polish kielbasa. It's like a sausage made in a factory. Polish kielbasa is different. It's like more authentic. It's very specific. This is basically Polish kielbasa. This is the same exact thing. The only difference is this is scored and then pan fried. Okay, but that's how it looks. You see the fat, the marbling. So yeah, has a nice smokiness to it. And this is how it looks. Pan fried. It's very good like this. I grew up as a kid. When I'd go camping, we put a kielbasa on a stick and you cut down in the woods, sharpen it, and have it over a fire. Polish style. Real good. And it tastes great when it's, you know, when the outside is a little more done. See, it's like a little more crispy. And it leaks out that fat, and that fat has a sweetness to it. Beautiful. This is one of the most popular Polish foods, in America especially, kielbasa. All right, and now we're gonna have it with some of this, which is their sauerkraut, like kapusta, which is slightly sour, but then it's also fried with mushrooms, and then they also add pepper for seasoning. Not many flavorings, just like salt and pepper, very basic. And it's super sour, but the fact that then I think they like pan fry it or something, so you see how greasy it is, so it's very flavorful and rich. You're not just eating pure sourness. It's savory and sour at the same time. It's so good. Especially with the mushrooms, they give like that dankness to it. So it's like the dankness from the mushrooms, you know, that hearty mushroom flavor with like a bright, you know, sour cabbage. Real good. And then next to it, we have pierogis. Now, we have a lot of pierogis here, and pierogis, really it's pronounced pierogi, are usually boiled, okay? But, so that's like the common way. That's like the standard. They're boiled with onions on top. They pan fry the onions and pour them on top of the boiled pierogis. But also, like in restaurants, to add variety, they also pan fry them to give them some more crunch. So let's see which ones these are. It's always a surprise. All right, these are potato pierogis. These are my least favorite. It tastes like a knish. My American followers know what a knish. Most people know what a knish is. Basically, like outer skin filled with potato. And that's exactly what this is. It might have some onions in there. This is literally exactly what it's like. It's very simple. Now we're gonna try this. This is called what are they called? Golombki, which is translated to pigeon, which is the weirdest translation. And it's basically a cabbage leaf unfolded from a head of lettuce and boiled. And then that leaf is used to wrap a filling of mixed, like ground beef, I believe. I believe it's beef. I'm not sure. It could be pork, but it's a ground meat mixed with rice and seasoned. But we're gonna slice it, and I'm gonna show you guys the cross section of what it looks like when it's cut. And this is basically what it is. Okay, so you could see like the rice and the seasoned meat wrapped in the leaf. Really good. Yeah, it tastes like ground. I don't know if it's pork or beef. It could be pork because it's so light in color. Look at it. And the leaf is actually very flavorful, so it's a nice little contrast. It goes very well together. And they also give you like a tomato sauce that you could have with this. I never grew up having it with tomato sauce. I think some people even maybe have it with ketchup. I'm not sure. But I usually just had it plain. But this is how it is with tomato sauce, just to add a little more depth, a little more flavor. Guys, for my Polish followers, please let me know if you guys eat this with tomato sauce or ketchup or plain, or how is this eaten? Let me know, I'm curious. It just tastes like Italian tomato sauce, like marinara sauce. To me, it doesn't taste Polish. Because I didn't grow up eating tomato sauce with this, so to me, it just tastes like somebody's trying to make it Italian, like trying to make it a little more fancy. I could be wrong though, so let me know in the comments. Don't be too brutal. All right, now we're gonna move on. So we have more pierogis. We're gonna try some of these pierogis, and then we're gonna do the zupa, which is the soup. This is the tripe soup. In Poland, they call it flaczki or flaki, either or, whatever. Flaki literally translates to guts. Wyprute flaki. So it's a hardcore name. I grew up eating this soup. It's beautiful. It's delicious. It's my favorite soup. I was a little fat boy. So to me, if you have soup with meat in it, it's like, wow, it's both like freaking dinner and soup together in one. It's very filling. And you would just eat this with a slice of bread. So I'm gonna use this slice of bread from the sandwich and have it with the soup. Might as well just have some right now since I've been talking about it, but this is basically how it looks up close. So funny thing, I took my Polish or American friends to a Polish restaurant before when I lived in Greenpoint, and they were all my American friends were deathly scared of this. Like, this is the grossest thing in the world. Guys, let me know in the comments if you've ever had tripe soup. And also my Polish followers, let me know if this is something that all Polish people eat, or this is very like exotic, because here it's like exotic. Not a lot of people eat this. I think this is phenomenal. So now this soup is basically has pieces of celery, it has pieces of carrots, it has the tripe, and it just tastes like saucy and savory. And a little bit on the spicy. They use like paprika, and I know they use peppers, and that's how it looks up close. To some people, that's gnarly. To me, this is just delicious meat. It's so tender. I mean, you could literally eat this without even teeth. like I said, I grew up since a little boy eating this. And so the way Polish people eat this is you take some bread, you bite some bread. 10 out of 10 for the flaczki. So good. I don't know how Polish people call this. Do you guys call this flaki czy flaczki? Czy jest różnica, czy jest dziwnie, jak ja bym to nazwał flaczki, czy to musi być flaki? I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Little apple juice. So yeah, like I said, this is like really hearty food. You know, Europe is a lot colder than the United States. Europe is on the same, I guess, latitude, longitude as like Canada. So it's a lot cooler. So, you know, they have colder winters. So this is like hearty food meant to like keep you warm, you know, high in calories, like oily, greasy, heavy on the carbs, really filling, etc. So it's good to have with like ice cold beer. Like I said, I can't have it with beer on the channel because I don't want to get demonetized. But guys, let me know in the comments down below, my Polish followers, is it still popular? Like how, because most of the world correlates Polish people with like drinking vodka and drinking beer. You know, it's like Ireland or Russia, you know, like big drinking culture. And I know it was like that a long time ago. Is it still like that? Or have times changed? Because my friends in Poland that I hang out with, yeah, we'll go out for drinks, we'll have beers. But it's not like we don't eat lunch, dinner, drinking vodka every time, shots and stuff like that. That's old school. I don't know, but maybe that's just me and my friends. Let me know in the comments down below, like, what's part of the culture now? Like, is drinking only reserved for, you know, occasions, or is it just like everybody has a shot with their dinner? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's check out some more of these pierogis. Now, this is the classic pierogi, but I don't know which one this is. We'll see what flavor, but basically, see, the texture is so different when it's boiled. It's a little like on the mushier side, and then you have pan-fried onions on top. It's usually just to add a little more depth, a little more of that oiliness, so it brings out that rich flavor. Let's see what these are. Another freaking potato. Like I said, potato are my worst ones. I never like freaking pierogis with potatoes. Let's see what this one is. Another mystery. Okay, so this is kapusta with mushrooms, which is cabbage and mushrooms. This is bomb. This is my favorite one. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up eating this, and when I say this bomb, it's like out of these pierogis, this is my favorite one. But I'm not in love with like Polish food. I'll be honest with you. And I'm sorry if, you know, somebody feels offended. I just grew up eating everything. Mostly I ate Polish food at home because my parents are immigrants. Those of you that have been watching my channel know my parents came from Poland. They got married in America. And then a year later I was born. So my first language was Polish. So I'm basically raised like Polish, you know, even though I'm an American. And so they love this food. They could eat this food all the time. Me, not so much. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I eat it like during the holidays when I'm in their house, you know, and it brings back nostalgia. But otherwise, I'm never at home thinking, damn, I want some pierogis. Not really. All right, this is another one, and this one is more dense. So let's see what's in here. And this one has ground beef in it. You see that? I believe it's beef. And I don't like these either. I think they're called these Ruskie pierogi, which is Russian style pierogis. That's what they call these. And it just tastes beefy. Not my favorite. We'll give one more a try. This one looks pretty. Again, the kapusta with the cabbage with the mushrooms, really good. That's my favorite. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to, we're almost done. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot more Polish foods out there, but there's only so much I could fit in this sitting. If you guys like this type of content, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll review like Polish candies and Polish desserts, other Polish foods if I missed any. All right, guys, so check this out. This is called Golonka. This is a freaking ham hock, basically. And so, who knows if this one is good. This one looks really dark, like it's almost overcooked. But we'll see if it's any good. And we have the same thing that we had before. This is the cabbage with the mushrooms, which is delicious. And it even has like little pieces of sausage for more flavor. But we're gonna cut into this. So I grew up eating this, okay? Usually my grandma would make something called galareta, which is like, it's a jello, but it's made out of boiling pig's feet, and then taking the bones apart, taking the bones out and slicing up the meat, and that gelatinous liquid, you're throwing back the meat, the chopped up meat into that gelatinous liquid, right? With carrots and cilantro and like some seasoning, and it's basically, you put it back in the fridge and it's like a meat jelly. It's called, in Polish, it's galareta, and you put vinegar on it and you eat that with bread. I should do a video on that because that's very exotic for Americans. So that'll be interesting. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that. But so anyway, I grew up eating that. So when I was a little boy, like mind you, like 5-6 years old, I was already like chewing on pig feet. So to me, this is not weird. This is like normal food. All right. A lot of people are weirded out by this. Like, ugh, what is that? That's gnarly. To me, it's not. So basically, you just eat this like that. You'd slice it and eat it with a knife and fork. I just want to get up close and show you guys. See, a lot of fat, but this is all gelatinous. It's delicious. 10 out of 10. Oh yeah, so I believe it's boiled first because it's so moist. And then the outside is probably just grilled. And so if you're familiar with pig skin, it's so flavorful. It's like sweet. So chewy, but also like just sweet and flavorful, absolutely delicious. And you could see a lot of nice meat that's not even fatty. Look at that. 10 out of 10 on the ham hock, guys. That's how Polish people do it. It's called Golonka. And they gave me some kapusta on the side, but I already tried this. This is really good because it's sour, so it cuts down the grease, so it's a good balance. This kapusta is hitting, very good. All right, this is the last thing that we have to show you guys. This is called Pyzy. This was around when I was a kid, but I never liked this. But I bought it so you guys could see what it is. This is very popular in Poland. I never liked this. There's also Polish street food too that I love, that I wish I could show you guys. It's called zapiekanka. That's my favorite, which is like this elongated French bread cut down the middle with melted mozzarella cheese and mushrooms, pieczarki. So good. And then Polish like sauce. I think it's just ketchup, but Polish ketchup is different. It's pikantny and łagodny, which is like spicy ketchup or mild ketchup. Anyway, so this is called Pyzy, which is basically very similar to pierogi in the outside texture. It's like a dough ball that's boiled, and same thing, they put onions, pan-fried onions on top to give it like that greasiness so it's more savory. Because you know how boiled bread would be, you just, bland. But this, with the onions on it, just gives it a little more savoriness. So let's see what's inside. I don't even remember. Okay, so this is basically like Ruski Pierogi. This is like the same as the Russian pierogis, I think. That's what it looks like. It just looks like the outer layer is thicker. Tastes the same. I don't like it. No wonder I never ate these. For my Polish followers, tell me, what's the difference between Ruskie Pierogi and freaking Pyzy? It's the same shit. in my opinion. I don't love it, but that doesn't mean you won't love it. It's worth giving a try. And that's really everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me more suggestions down below, the foods you think that I should review. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, signing off. Cheers.